Good evening, USFFL. It is time for some football. We've got another broadcast on tap for you tonight. And good news, we got a triple header of action for you, provided that my voice can hold out that long. So we are already in progress. The Indianapolis Colts at the Green Bay Packers. That'll be followed an hour later by the Raiders at the Ravens. And we'll close the night with Steelers at the Broncos. Triple header of USFFL action. Let's get it rolling. All right, we are back and ready to go. Let's get me off the screen. Let's get a football game on the screen. Joined in progress near the end of the first quarter, scoreless, Colts at Packers. Excuse me. Let's fire off the broadcast with a healthy sneeze. Packers are in the Colts red zone in a scoreless game, late first quarter. 1st and 10 at the Indianapolis 14-yard line. Screen pass, right side. This is going to the tailback, Josh Jacobs. A receiver opportunity for him, and Jacobs is good for 4 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 6 at the 10. That will keep the flat pass in play here. Just checking to make sure the broadcast is going. It appears that it is. All right, indeed. Green Bay Packers come into this game 0-1. They lost the Week 1 finale to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Colts are 1-0 as they won their opener. If I recall, I think that was against the Miami Dolphins. No, it was against the Texans. Colts put up 48 points against the Texans. Colts are coached by John Freeze. The Packers are coached by our software administrator, Scott Mueller. 2nd and 6. Here's a run up the middle. That goes to Josh Jacobs. Breaks a tackle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. Josh Jacobs with a 10-yard touchdown run. That went to the defensive card. Result was a +5, but because there was a box there, Jacobs able to finish off that touchdown scamper. Extra point is up and good by Brandon McManus. And it's a 7-0 lead for the Green Bay Packers. So we can kick off as a touchback, and the Colts will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 30. They'll come out in a tight end set. So they're showing a run formation. 9 first downs for Green Bay so far. Colts still looking for their first down. Green Bay's in a 4-3 defensive set here. There's a first down run off tackle. Left side, Jonathan Taylor. Packers defense calls run, and Taylor pops a short gain on his right column nonetheless. Out across the 40, across the 45, and not brought down until the 47. Tackled by Xavier McKinney. And the Colts are 1st and 10 at their own 47. Packers defense is rated average to good against the pass, and they are excellent against the run. Packers' biggest blitz threat is at the defensive right end. Rashawn Gary is a 9. Two tight end set now for the Colts. Pittman and Downs are split out wide. And we have another handoff, off tackle, Jonathan Taylor. And he's going to get across the 50, not much more. Picked up 5 on the play. Taylor had a split roll opportunity for plus 15. Couldn't make the roll. It's 2nd and 5. In Green Bay territory, like I said, at the 48. First time the Colts are in Green Bay territory today. They've had 2 3-and-outs. Defense looks run, back to pass. Short, caught. Anthony Richardson hits Andrew Ogletree for 13 yards, and the Colts are down to the Green Bay 35-yard line. Colts have a pretty good blocking offensive line and a 7-rated pass blocker against that best blitzer that Green Bay has to offer, Rashawn Gary. So it'll be a little tough to get pressure in here probably. Here's a first down run. Quarterback called his number going around the right side, and he's going to get just 3 yards. The onside end failed to make the block, 2nd and 7. That could have been worse. Defensive coach called run on the play, and anytime you go to the quarterback on his right column, that is not good. Anthony Richard now out of the pistol formation. 2 tight ends. He's got Taylor beside him. Packers in a 4-3. Here's the snap. Back to pass. Looking deep. And incomplete. No good. Defensive back in zone could not make was able to make the stop. There is a couple of penalties, though, and it's going to be a dead ball foul. Offsetting penalties. We'll replay the down. Break for Green Bay as they were looking run there. Now under center, Anthony Richardson. Otherwise, same formation. Here's the handoff. Inside run right at the middle. Jonathan Taylor. Packers called run, and Taylor, for the second time, hits the short gain on right on his card. Inside the 20, inside the 15, and brought down at the 14-yard line by Javon Bullard. So that's twice just since I've joined the game here. Jonathan Taylor's gotten a short gain on right. Both of those hitting the 3 on his card. So now in the red zone for the first time. The Colts 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 14-yard line. We are 30 minutes away from the scheduled kickoff of Raiders at Ravens. 4 wide receivers now split out wide for the Colts. And here's a run by the quarterback. Calls his own number, and he's going to lose a yard. Defensive end Kingsley Ngabare. Good enough to stand up to that 4 on the white die, and a loss of 1. Another opportunity there that it could have been worse. Another run to the quarterback, Anthony Richardson. And the defense had called run, so lucky to get that to the defensive card, maybe. Safety's up close now. Xavier McKinney showing blitz here for the Packers out of the 4-3. Still a 2 tight end set. Packers crash run. It's flat. Right side. Michael Pittman's got the catch. Good yardage. Inside the 10 and down to the 6-yard line. Gain a 9 on the play. And it's 3rd down and 2 at the Green Bay 6. Colts come out. 3 running back, 2 tight end formation. The line crashes run. It is inside run. Tyler Goodson, he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 2. And that's a 1-yard loss for 4th and 3, but there's also a holding penalty. He'll take the 4th and 3. So the Packers, Scott Mueller declines that penalty and sets up a 4th and 3 at the Green Bay 7. Interesting call. Probably the call most coaches would make. Probably the call I would make. Take the 4th down rather than backing them up. 4th and 3 at the 7 is a little hard to convert. And indeed, Matt Gay is coming on to attempt the field goal for Indianapolis. A chippy from 24 yards is up and no good. Wide right. Matt Gay can only miss that one on double sixes. And he got the boxcars. So a shank on that's going to keep Indianapolis scoreless. Just over 11 minutes remaining. Second quarter, Green Bay retains their lead 7-0. Packers now coming out in a 2 tight end set themselves. Dobbs and Jaden Reed are split out wide. Colts defensively show a 4-2-5. So only 2 linebackers on the field, but the extra DB can come up if he needs. And first down run call off tackle, right side, Josh Jacobs, and he plows ahead for a 6-yard gain. Jacobs benefited from a 6 on the white die to just get the best of DeForest Buckner. 2nd and 4. The Packers now go 3 wide receivers, 1 halfback. Christian Watson in the slot. Love stays under center. Here's the snap. Quick look in over the middle. That's going to be a receiver opportunity, and it's going to be caught. Jaden Reed, first down and a little extra. Pickup of 9 on the play. Jaden Reed, receiver right column. Got his best number. Moves the sticks. Green Bay, 1st and 10 at the 35. Josh Jacobs is out. Chris Brooks is in now at the halfback position. They'll keep 3 wide receivers on the field. Colts gets run. It's another quick look-in pass. That's going to be caught. Chris Brooks out of the backfield. Breaks a linebacker, and he's into the secondary. Out across the 50, or actually brought down right at the 50. 20-yard catch and run by the Green Bay tailback. The Packers are 1st and 10 right at midfield. Jacobs back in the game at tailback. Jordan Love back to pass. Another quick slant over the middle. Empty zone this time. Trying to hit his tight end, Tucker Kraft. And Kraft's got the catch. Kraft's got good yardage. 1st down and more. Inside the 40. And brought down actually just after that 10-yard gain. So he's brought down right at the 40. It does move the sticks. Jordan Love now 10 of 13, and he's over 100 yards passing at 107. Packers keep 3 wide receivers on the field here, and for the 4th straight play, it's a quick look in over the middle. Right back to the tight end, Tucker Kraft, and he's got it, but this time the defense was wise to it. Quick tackle there. Nick Cross, just a 2-yard pickup. 4 consecutive look-in passes. Same formation for the Packers. 3-3-5 nickel now showing by John Freeze and the Colts. Colts defensively are rated average to poor against the runs and poor against the pass. So they definitely do not have the defense that the Packers bring to the table. And on 2nd and 8, Love back to pass. Scans the field. Looking short. Avoids the rush. Forced to dump it off, though. In the flat now to Dontavian Wicks. And Wicks has got Jordan Love's number yet again. That's another first down flat pass. Wicks goes for 12 over the middle. And the Packers 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Jordan Love showing great success here. Very efficient moving through the flat zones. 3 wide receivers remain in the game. Now halfway through the second quarter. Packers up 7-0, but driving. Halfback dive up the middle. This goes to Josh Jacobs. Jacobs moves ahead and moves the pile for 5 on that play. Second down and 5 now at the 21. From the 21 and in, it's a 2 through 10 field goal attempt. There is some variable risk if he were to lose some yardage here. 2nd and 5. Packers still with 3 wideouts. Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed on the outside. Christian Watson in the slot. 4-2-5 shown here by the Colts. So if they want to cover that middle linebacker zone at all, they're going to have to pull the safety up. And that's exactly what they do. Here comes a button hook to the tailback out of the backfield, and it's going to be caught. Josh Jacobs, and he plows ahead. He's got a first down. Jacobs with his 3rd catch in this game. It goes for 6 yards, and the Packers are 1st and 10 now at the 15-yard line. Third time in the red zone for the Packers. Flat pass again. This one goes to Jaden Reed, and it's going to be caught. And he breaks a tackle, and he heads to the goal line, and he's going to be brought down just a yard short. Jordan Love hit his short game number on flat pass right again on an 11. 14 yards to Jaden Reed, and it's 1st and goal Packers at the 1. Jordan Love strong on this drive. Now 14 of 17 for a $141. Full house backfield. Here's a run, handoff. Jacobs up the middle, and dead ball foul. That's going to be against the offense. So 1st and goal at the 1 just became 1st and goal at the 6. That's a big difference. Packers will stay in that full house set. There's a pitch out right side going to Jacobs, and linebacker in zone, and Jacobs goes through him for 2. 4 on the white die was good enough to... Oh, I'm sorry. It actually was looking for a blocking back that wasn't there, and that's why. So 2-yard gain. It's 2nd and goal at the 4. First half clock now down to 5:24 and counting. Full house set. Halfback dive up the middle. Josh Jacobs plows ahead. Got the goal line. Touchdown, Packers. Jacobs, 12 carries, 49 yards rushing, and 2 ground and pound touchdowns. Extra point is up and good, and the Packers assume a 14-0 lead at the 5:06 mark of the second quarter. McManus's kick is fielded at the 2. Brought back by Anthony Gould. Nice return, but a penalty. And it's going to be an illegal block against the Colts. So that special teams penalty we all hate to see, back them up. The Colts will begin now. 1st and 10, back at their own 15-yard line. Colts in a 2 tight end set. Plenty of time to get the score here before halftime if they'd like. Back to pass. Anthony Richardson looks the field, avoids the rush, gets the pass off, and that's going to be caught. And it's a first down, gain of 10 exactly. Josh Downs makes the catch. Tried to get out of bounds, but couldn't do it. So now from the 25-yard line. Anthony Richardson just 5 of 6 passing for 37 yards. First down pitch out, right side. Jonathan Taylor, and he's going to be brought down quickly. Isaiah McDuffie, a gain of 3 on the play. McDuffie is 3rd tackle. And it's 2nd and 7. And so 4 wide receivers now split out for the Colts. Packers respond with a 4-2-5. So they're attempting a little eye candy there over that middle linebacker. They pull the safety up to cover it. Back to pass. Richardson scans the field, looks short, forced to run with it, scrambles with the ball, and nowhere. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, but a sack for Xavier McKinney, the Packers safety. So 3rd down and 7 now. Indy at their own 28. Three minutes remains here in the first half. Colts desperately need a first down here to avoid the possibility of the Packers putting up a 3rd score before half. And on 3rd and 7, the Colts again split out 4 wides. Richardson back to pass. Richardson looking deep. Fires it off. It's going back deep to... Oh, it was broken up. Pass intended for Alec Pierce. And I say broken up. It's actually penalties. There were offsetting penalties, so wipe away the down. And the Colts get another crack at 3rd and 7. They were going long there to Pierce. And from what I'm seeing, got the dice to complete that pass. But offsetting penalties will do it over. Colts are 0 for 3 on 3rd down so far in this game. 3rd and 7. Here's a quick look-in pass. Empty zone. Good call there by the offense. It's going to Josh Downs. Receiver opportunity. Downs has the catch. He's got the first down, and he's out to the 40-yard line. Pick up a 12 on the play on Josh Downs' wrong column. A little bit of a gift there in that the Packers were sitting in a 4-2-5 defense again, telegraphing that look-in zone's either going to be open or the safety's going to have to come up and abandon his post. So on 3rd and 7, Coach Freeze decided to extend the drive and get that middle zone targeted. Clock winding down now. This will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. 2:06 on the clock. Colts from their 40. 4 wide receivers split out again. And once again, Packers show that 4-2-5. Off tackle draw, and it's going to go for a 2-yard loss. Good call there by the defense. Coach Mueller, ball's out on that one. Pulled the free safety to cover the look in and actually called run as he abandoned that long pass zone. It paid off, 2-yard loss on the play. And the Colts staring at a 2nd and 12. We've reached the 2-minute warning in Green Bay. Packers from Lambeau. They're up on the Colts, 14-0. From their own 38, 4 wide receivers in formation again for the Colts. And it's another handoff off tackle and nothing doing. Jonathan Taylor, back-to-back runs for a net of -2. Coach Mueller called run again, but that one was won on the defensive card. TJ Slayton, defensive right tackle, good enough to beat the white die, and it's 3rd and 12. So fresh off their first 3rd down conversion of the game, the Colts are going to have to do it again to extend the drive. Jonathan Taylor, 8 rushes, 42 yards in this game so far. Back to pass. Richardson short and no good, incomplete. That one on the Green Bay defensive card. It's 4th and 12. Colts will be punting from their own 38-yard line. Rigoberto Sanchez in to make the punt. Still 90 seconds left in the first half, so Green Bay an opportunity in the 2-minute offense to put up another score. Nice punt there. 53 yards in the air. It's going to roll a little bit further. All the way down to the 2-yard line. Beautiful punt there by Rigoberto Sanchez. And Green Bay will begin at their own 2-yard line. Just 1:22 left before halftime. So we'll see how aggressive Coach Mueller intends to be. And Green Bay comes out, 3 wide receivers. The halfback is Josh Jacobs. And a 4-2-5 shown here by the defense. So a little more eye candy from both coaches for that middle look-in zone. Does Green Bay want to gamble? He's covering that zone and go deep here. Looking at the Colts blitz. They got a little bit. Here's a run up the middle and nothing doing. Julian Blackman with a quick stop. Josh Jacobs got nothing, and it's 2nd and 10 at the 2. Clock runs down to 52 seconds left in the half. Three wide receivers split out again. Colts in a 4-2-5. Defenseless pass. It's off tackle. Josh Jacobs. Nice room on the right side and not enough for a first down, but A more manageable 3rd and 3 now from their own 9, and it'll be interesting to see if the Colts want to take a timeout here and try to force a punt. They do not. Clock continues to run, and on 3rd and 3 from the 9, just 22 seconds remain. I think if I'm the Colts, I'd have used a couple timeouts there. See if I can force a punt from the goal line. Coach Freeze electing to go ahead and play for the second half. There's a look-in pass, and that is going to be incomplete. Stops the clock 15 seconds, and the Packers are going to punt from their 9. And with them punting from their 9, you got to think if you could still cash in 2 of those timeouts and put some more time on the clock, you might have wanted to do that. Packers had to back up an offensive penalty here. They went half the distance to the goal, and they'll now punt from their 5-yard line. Not a good punt, just 36 yards in the air. Josh Downs is underneath it, and an 8-yard return. 8 seconds left. Indianapolis is at the 33. So from the 33, it's 2-5, 11, and 12. They're just 1 yard away, though, from 2 through 10. So right on that borderline. But he's got 3 timeouts. He's only going to need 1. It means the Colts have an opportunity for 1 play to remove some variable risk on this field goal attempt. They split out 4 wide receivers. 4-2-5 again, shown here by the Packers. Empty middle zone to present to the offense. I think we might just get a run. Let Taylor go up the middle and we're off tackle and try to get. And instead, he's back to pass. Looking deep, going to Pierce. He's doubled, and that's going to be picked off. Intercepted in the end zone. And with 1 second left, a touchback. Xavier McKinney, the safety, got the interception. That was on the 2-man column because the receiver was double teamed. And the Packers will just take a knee, and we've gone to halftime here in Green Bay. A little bit of a scandalous finish there at the end of the first half. Indianapolis missing an opportunity to get points on the board. Nevertheless, they're still in it. It's 14-0 Packers at the half. Green Bay will get the ball first in the second half. Packers have outgained Indianapolis 219-95. 16 first downs to 5. That interception we just saw was the only turnover of the game. Both teams with 2 penalties. So it's really been all Green Bay so far, but just a 14-point lead. So Indianapolis put up 48 points, I believe, in week 1. We're going to keep our eye as well right here because we should have another game kicking off in a matter of moments. Ravens at Raiders scheduled to kick in 4 minutes. Jordan Love, 14 of 18 so far. Just a little chat with our two coaches here. 2 missed chip shots. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Just, sometimes the breaks go with you and sometimes they don't. I can only assume 48 points in week 1. Colts had to have gotten a few breaks somewhere along the way. They sure haven't gotten them in this one that I've seen either. And Jordan Love went through a spell where it was just one flat pass short gain after another. Anthony Richardson, 6 of 9, 49 yards. What about his running? 3 for 5, so he hasn't even sprung a must run for him yet. First of 3 games we hope to cover tonight for you. Second half kick almost ready to go here in Green Bay. We'll cut back and forth to all 3 games throughout the night. We're underway in the second half. It begins with a touchback and the Packers taking over at their own 30-yard line. Packers lost to the defending real-life champs, the Philadelphia Eagles, who were carded as the champions in this set. Lost to them in week 1. Colts won a big division tilt against the Texans in blowout fashion. And the Packers come out in the second half, right where they left off the first half, in a 3-wide receiver formation. Love back to pass, looking deep, going to Watson, but he's brought down. Sack on the play. E.J. Speed got to him, and it's a loss of 9 yards. So if the Colts were looking for a defensive spark to kick off the second half, they just got it. Second down and 19. Protection broke down on that long pass. Right back to the 3-wide receiver formation. Coach Freeze has got the Colts defense in a nickel. And here's a run up the middle. This goes to Josh Jacobs, and he's going to get a few. Good for 5. Jacobs got a 6 on the white die, and that was good enough to get past DeForest Buckner. Buckner's a 5-rated tackle who's been bested twice by that white die. Got 5, and that makes it a little closer. 3rd down and 14. Green Bay at their 26. Opening drive, second half. Love out of the shotgun now. He's got Emmanuel Wilson beside him at the tailback position. The snap, back to pass. Love looking short, looking at his tight end, Tucker Kraft. That gets rid of it. Kraft, a receiver opportunity on his card, got the catch. And Kraft is close to a first down. Going to be a yard short. Picked up 13, needed 14. Packers are 4th and 1 at their own 39. First drive, second half. And Scott Mueller is pretty aggressive, and he is going to go for it. Sticking with the 3-wide receiver formation. So an opportunity for the Colts to get a turnover on downs in Green Bay territory. Let's see how they respond to 3 wide receivers on the field. A 4-2-5 defense. Jacobs is the tailback. Interesting play call here. Fourth and 1. I love the coaches in this league. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's been fun to get to know all the personalities. And here we go, 4th and 1, sneak. Quarterback Love plows forward and gets just enough. The gamble pays off for the Pack. Move the sticks. Green Bay now from their 40. And they found a formula they liked, as they are sticking with that 3 wide receiver halfback formation for a while now, whether it's 4th and 1 or 1st and 10. Colts in a 4-2-5. And again, I think that's going to mean that safety's got to cover either the look-in or the long. There's an off tackle right side to Emmanuel Wilson. Good call on the defense. They call run, but a good short gain nonetheless. Emmanuel Wilson, good for 16 yards into Indianapolis territory, down to the 44. Coach Freeze with a good run call there against a backup tailback. And Emmanuel Wilson comes through with a short gain on right on his card. So the Packers across midfield again. Three wide receiver formation. Raiders and Ravens is underway. We'll be joining that soon. Here's a button hook to an empty zone over the middle. Josh Jacobs, he's got the catch, but just a couple yards. And that was, again, a look-in zone that was open in a 4-2-5. Green Bay rightly attacked it. And that made it a flat pass wrong. Love set it up nicely, but a bad yak roll for Josh Jacobs, despite being a great yak player. 2nd and 8. Love back to pass. Here's a screen left side, right back to Jacobs. Jacobs got the catch. Beats the outside linebacker, and he's up the left sideline. Jacobs inside the 30 and brought down at the 28. E.J. Speed, who had the sack earlier, not good enough in coverage to stay with Jacobs. J.J. beat him. And the Packers are now 1st and 10 at the Indy 28-yard line. 5th catch of the game there for Josh Jacobs. Colts defense still in that 4-2-5. From the 28-yard line, that safety then I think is maybe I don't think you can move any of those other players in. They've all got man responsibilities. So I think you're forcing a decision. And there we go. He's covering the look-in, and it is going to be a look-in pass, but it's good for 5. That went to Christian Watson. Ninth play coming up of this opening drive, second half. Packers trying to build on a 14-point lead over the Colts. Here's a handoff up the middle, Josh Jacobs, and he's going to get just a couple. Grover Stewart brought him to the ground. Packers right guard could have sprung him for a first down, but couldn't make the block. Sean Ryan. 3rd and 3 now. So a very important down here for the Colts for sure. Both offense and defense continue to stay in their same formations for this entire drive. Still 3 wide receivers. Here's the look in. It's an empty zone again. This pass is going to Jaden Reed. Perfect yak opportunity set up by Love and a decent roll. That's a catch for a first down. There is a penalty as Reed gets down inside the 5-yard line, but let's check the flag, and it is holding against the offense. So that middle hole of the 4-2-5 was exploited nicely, but the penalty brings it back. And now it's 3rd and 13 at the 31. From right here, McManus is 2 through 8, 11 and 12 for a field goal. That range will be good for him all the way back to the 38. So a little variable risk if he were to get sacked here. Out of the shotgun now, still 3 wide receivers on the field. Now a deep 3-2-6 dime shown here by Coach Freeze. 3rd and 13, it's a draw up the middle. Emmanuel Wilson with an opportunity. He's got a good run up the middle, and he's going to be close. Did he make it? He is across that first down marker. Emmanuel Wilson, an inside draw on 3rd and 13, comes up with another short gain, 14 yards and a first down. Huge conversion. Wilson, 5 carries, 53 yards in part-time duty. Now in the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 17. Wilson stays in the game at tailback. Love back to pass. Scans, quick button hook over the middle to Emmanuel Wilson, the halfback, got the catch. And good yardage up the middle, first down, inside the 5 and brought down at the 3. Jordan Love hit the 11 on his flat pass right for at least the 3rd time as he continues to dominate the Colt defense in the flats. 1st and goal now from the 3. 13th play of this drive. Here's the snap, and it's a sneak. Love going over the middle, and nothing there. Zaire Franklin had him by the ankles. And it's 2nd and goal at the 3. Colts trail by 14, and the Packers have now used up exactly half of the 3rd quarter before the Colts see the ball. 2nd and goal. Here's a run up the middle. Jacobs, and he's brought down. It's Zaire Franklin again. 5th tackle for Franklin, 2nd in a row. And it's 3rd and goal at the 3. Green Bay brings out the full house set. Here's a run up the middle. Josh Jacobs, and almost. He got 2. Needed 3. It's 4th and goal at the 1. And I got to expect the Packers are going to go for this, and they will. Full house formation. Opening drive of the 2nd half, Packers. Fourth and goal at the 1. Crash to Key, the running back. Back to pass. Love. Short. It is caught. Touchdown. Jordan Love hitting Tucker Kraft, the tight end. First touchdown pass of the game for Love, who is 20 of 24 for 190. And that one touchdown now to Tucker Kraft. Extra point by Brandon McManus. Up and good. There is a penalty on the extra point. Let's do a sneak peek and see what's going on in Baltimore. So we are leaving our live action. Green Bay up now by 3 scores against the Colts. And we're going to do a peek in. Let's see what's going on between the Raiders and the Ravens. Still scoreless. 9-minute mark of the first quarter. Raiders have the ball at their own 7-yard line. First down handoff for the Raiders goes to Alexander Madison. And Madison, nothing doing, 2nd and 10. Madison hit that dreaded 5 on his card. Las Vegas Raiders are coached by Paul Conti. And the Baltimore Ravens have a new coach this year. It's Tony Talaria. 3 wide receivers split out. Gardner Minshew of the Raiders is out of the shotgun. 2nd and 10. And here's our play call. Flat pass to Brock Bowers. He's got the catch and good yardage. First down, out across the 25 and out to the 30. 23-yard completion. Minshew to Brock Bowers, and the Raiders now are out to their own 30-yard line. So still 0-0 there. We're going to go back and pick up the end of our initial game. There's a pass over the middle, and that's going to be caught. Josh Downs. Anthony Richardson, his 8th completion of the game. And the Colts are into Green Bay territory at the 49-yard line. Green Bay is up at home 21-0. Here's a hitch over the middle, targeting an empty zone, and caught the defense guessing run. And nevertheless, that's incomplete. Bad pass there from Richardson. That was almost intercepted. So we're going to keep our eye on both games here. There's a quick slant back to Brock Bowers, and he's got another first down for the Raiders out to the 43. So the Raiders were backed up into their own area, but they are on the move now, and there's a deep pass back in Green Bay that's going to be intercepted. Anthony Richardson is picked off for the 2nd time in this game. That deep ball was going to Alec Pierce, picked off by Javon Bullard. And the Packers already up 21-0, take over possession at their own 23-yard line. So the wheels are starting to fall off late third quarter for the Indianapolis Colts. We'll keep an eye on that game, see if it gets closer. We're going to go ahead and stick with this one for a little bit. This one will move a little bit slower, as I know the pace for Tony's games are a little bit slower, which is fine. Wow, Roquan Smith just had a 5-yard loss, or a tackle for a 5-yard loss that set up 2nd and 15. Flat pass, and Minshew's got his man. It's 4 yards. And that's pretty impressive considering the Ravens had him double teamed. Big 4 yards, too, as it sets up 3rd and 11. That is much easier for a quarterback to hit, particularly in the Stratomatic environment. Raiders had the opening possession of this game. 7 plays and threw an interception. Ravens win a couple first downs and punted. And then Las Vegas, currently on their current drive. So not much offense yet here for these two teams. Big 3rd and 11 coming up here. Yeah, we are really moving at a snail's pace in that game. 2nd and 8. Packers now cross midfield at the Indianapolis 40. Emmanuel Wilson's had quite a game running the ball. 8 rushes, 76 yards in support of Josh Jacobs. Emmanuel Wilson carded for just over 100 carries. Here's a look-in pass. Christian Watson. Good yardage. First down, move the sticks again. That's going to be an 11-yard gain. Packers now down to the 27 as we reach the 4th quarter now. In Green Bay, home team cruising. Packers up 21-0. And driving. Starting to wonder if we are actually just frozen here in Vegas. I'll bet we are. No. Yes, we are, because my chat did not pop up. All right. So we're going to close that and come back. Second and 2. Love sneaks it for a first down. Packers now down to the 14. Trying to put the finishing touches on that one. Back in Green Bay now. It's 3rd down and 4 for the Packers. They're at the 8-yard line of Indianapolis. Full house formation. There's a pitch out. Right side goes Chris Brooks, and he's going to be close to the first down. Comes up short. Needed 4, got 3. It's 4th and 1 at the Indianapolis 5, and Coach Bueller is going to go for it again. Inside run on 4th and 1. He got the first down, and he got the goal line. Touchdown! Josh Jacobs on the defensive card gets his 3rd rushing touchdown of this contest. As Packers are now out to a 28-0 lead. And we are still having trouble connecting to whatever's going on in Baltimore. We'll keep our eye on that a little bit for a new game number. There's a first down run. Jonathan Taylor, and he's going to get 4. Taylor, 5 yards a carry in this game, just only 10 carries. Taylor had a really strong week 1 performance against the Texans. Ooh, and an injury on that last play goes to Michael Pittman of the Colts. That would be a significant loss, but he is just going to be out for the remainder of this game. So the Colts will have him back in week 3. Speaking of the Colts, this loss will drop them to 1-1 on the year. But the loss is out of conference. And the win is a division win. So that's very good for Indianapolis. Green Bay Packers will even their record to 1-1. Their loss was a conference loss. Their win will be out of conference. Green Bay Packers will next face the Titans in week 3. A matchup against our newest, or I should say newest but returning coach, David Yance. The Indianapolis Colts in week 3 will be at home again against the Chicago Bears. 4th down, Indianapolis from their own 37. Flat pass, Josh Downs, and it's going to be caught. Downs converts the first down. Good yardage across midfield and tackled at the 47 of Green Bay. 4th catch of the game for Downs. Anthony Richardson, 9 of 17, 82 yards, and a couple of picks. It was Joe Flacco that led the Colts to their week 1 victory. But they have a split carry, so you got to decide when you're going to play against who. Richardson, an incomplete pass there, 2nd and 10. Let's try once more to get connected, shall we? Yeah, we'll see at the end of this game, I think. Boy, the Colts put up 48 points in week 1. And here they are scoreless in the fourth quarter. They've had a lot of bad breaks. And the other thing is, it's a tough matchup if you're the Colts. Their strength is no doubt going to be the running game in any matchup. And even more so, you just have to, you have to feel bad for them coming up against an excellent run defense. So I just got notification from our coaches in game 2 that one of our coaches is in the middle of a reboot. So that's why I haven't been able to connect to that one. Colts facing a 3rd and 10. Trey Sermon is in at tailback. And Richardson back to pass. And forced to scramble. Richardson around the right side, and he's got room this time. And Richardson, good yardage for the first time all game, goes for 13, and that's a first down. Boy, even after that first down, Green Bay 27 first downs to 9. Quarterback Richardson carded at 47% completion, I believe. 47-7. That's going to be tough. He's back to pass again here. Looking short, forced to incomplete. He got rid of it, and it was incomplete, trying to hit Alec Pierce again. Here's a look-in pass, empty zone there. And on 2nd and 10, Alec Pierce has got that one. It's his first catch of the game. It goes for 9. And that makes it 3rd down and 1 for the Colts. Coach Freeze brings out a tight end offense. Packers guess run, but it's quick slant. Mo Alley Cox from the tight end spot's got the catch, and that's going to move the sticks again. That's good for 9 yards, and that total is just enough to push Anthony Richardson over the century mark in this game. Now 11 of 22 for 100 yards and a couple picks. Off tackle draw to Jonathan Taylor, and he's going to be brought down quickly. Didn't fool anybody on that one. Green Bay was look and run, and the safety, Xavier McKinney, made the tackle, 2nd and 11. Here's the snap, back to pass. Richardson scanning the field, looks short. Going to Josh Downs. Receiver opportunity for him, and he's got the catch. And he's across the first down marker. Down to the 5. It's going to be a pickup of 12. And it's 1st and goal, Indianapolis. The clock keeps running, now down to 6 minutes left in this game. Colts in a 2 tight end set here. Here's an end run to Anthony Richardson around the edge, and he's going to be brought down way back, a loss of 8. Green Bay guessing run and caught Anthony Richardson trying to get cute around the edge. Isaiah McDuffie is 6th tackle, an 8-yard loss, and it's 2nd and goal at the 13 now. Three wide receivers split out for the Colts. Handoff up the middle. Jonathan Taylor, and he's going to get just a couple. It'll be 3rd and goal at the 11. Once again, 3 wide receivers split out. Back to pass. Richardson short and no good. Tried to hit Adonai Mitchell there and couldn't connect on the defensive card. It's 4th and goal at the 11. One might assume the Colts would go for it here, unless you want to try to kick that field goal and avoid the shutout. But the offense stays on the field. Josh Downs spread out to the right. Pierce and Adonai Mitchell out to the left. Jonathan Taylor, the tailback. Packers in a 4-2-5. 4th and goal at the 11. Richardson back to pass. Voids the rush. Scrambles with it. Goes around the right side, and he's going to be dragged down. Safety McKinney got him. Just a 3-yard gain. And it's a turnover on downs. The Packers take over at their own 8. So nothing left there but the final score. Looks like they might still be having trouble in the Vegas-Baltimore game, as 2 game numbers have now been posted. Let's go ahead and get ready with that game number. Chris Brooks up the middle for a yard, 2nd and 9. Game clock now under 4 minutes remaining in Green Bay. Another handoff to Brooks, right side. He goes for 5. It'll be 3rd down and 4. All right, we're going to go ahead and try to get in now. All right, we are back. It's still scoreless. The Raiders are driving. Personal foul against Baltimore, and that's a big one. 1st and goal, Raiders at the 7. For the Raiders, this is just their 2nd possession of the game. They've had some success moving the ball. 3 first downs on their opening drive, 4 first downs on this one, and they're 1st and goal. Gardner Minshew at quarterback. Alexander Madison behind him. Safety for the Ravens up close, showing blitz out of a 3-4. Ravens are excellent against the run defensively and poor against the pass. And on 1st and goal, here's a run up the middle. Alexander Madison, and he's got good yardage down near the goal line. Pick up a 5 on the play. It's 2nd and goal. Raiders at the 2-yard line of the Ravens. The Ravens are coached by Tony Talaria, who is the assistant commissioner of this league. Tony's Ravens lost in week 1 to the Chiefs. The Las Vegas Raiders lost in week 1 to the Los Angeles Chargers. They are coached by Paul Conti. 2nd and goal at the 2. Raiders in a 2 tight end set. We have a final from Green Bay. The Packers beat the Colts 28-0. Second here. And it's 3rd and goal at the 2 for the Raiders. Back in Baltimore, defense trying to make a stand for the home crowd. 3rd and goal at the 2. Back to pass. Looking short, going to Jacoby Myers, and no good, incomplete. Minshew couldn't make the completion. He got the receiver result over to Jacoby Myers, and Myers missed it on his card. It's 4th and goal at the 2. Myers only had 3 incompletions, found 1. So from the 2, here's a chippy. Daniel Carlson right through on a 19-yard field goal. And at the 3-minute mark of the first quarter, it's the Las Vegas Raiders that draw first blood. They're up on the Ravens 3-0. That drive, 13 plays, 91 net yards. And a field goal by Daniel Carlson. Ravens just got a 10-yard completion. Lamar Jackson to Zay Flowers. And they're now out to the 40-yard line. Two tight end set. Lamar out of the pistol. Back to pass Lamar. Looking short. Trying to get his tight end. Likely he's got the catch. Good yardage across midfield and brought down at the 47 of Las Vegas by Kamarion Richardson. 1st and 10 for Baltimore. Ravens keep the two tight ends out there. There's a first down draw up the middle. Derrick Henry inside the 40, inside the 30, down to the 20, and to the 14-yard line, where he is finally wrapped up by Jack Jones. Derrick Henry, one of the more dangerous cards you're ever going to see running the ball. But that one ended up on the defensive card. Snake eyes. They got a 33-yard scamper off tackle. Ravens 1st and 10 now at the 14-yard line of Vegas. Two tight ends set again. Vegas, average to poor against the pass, rated average against the run defensively. Here's a first down flat pass, caught, Zay Flowers, and he's going to get 5 yards. That'll put him inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Jack Jones, another tackle, 2nd and 5. As we welcome Scott to the broadcast. Scott, how are we doing tonight?
Yeah, not too bad. I gotta get my volume set in here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, congratulations on a rather convincing victory.
Yeah, John was kind of shorthanded with Richardson, right? I mean, you saw the game, but thank you.
Yeah, Richardson's definitely tough to win with, and that's a run-first team anyway, and you're rated excellent against the run. So,
yeah, it's a tough matchup for him. I mean, you saw how much I called the run. I mean, there's not a lot of threat for him to throw the ball. But
yeah, I think the Colts, I mentioned on that broadcast, I think that this version of the Packers team is a really tough matchup for the Colts, even if Flacco was in the game. So, but listen, it's a win nonetheless. I congratulate you. That evens your record after a rough week one at a nice 1-1. So congratulations on that. We welcome John Freeze to the broadcast. John, how are you doing tonight? Just a second here, as I would tell you, fellas, we've had a touchdown run. Derrick Henry up the middle plows through for a 4-yard touchdown run. Ravens have taken the lead on the Raiders. Field extra point pending. Carlson hits that. It's going to make it 7-3 for Baltimore, and he does. Penalty. He'll get another shot at it. So, John, we were just talking before you came on the broadcast. tough matchup for the Colts, I think, facing an excellent run defense as a run-first team and then not having a very good quarterback by comparison to Flacco, right? John, I don't think we can hear you. Give him a second here. Looks like the Packers you're going to be facing the Titans next week. Good luck in that one, by the way, Scott.
Thank you. You there now, John?
Are you there, John?
No.
No, we still just can't hear you. I'm going to make sure I don't have you muted. I didn't mute you, did I, by any mistake? It doesn't seem to...
You see those 2 missed kicks early in the game, Tim, or were you not
Yeah,
broadcasting?
well, I missed the first missed kick, but I did see the second missed kick.
A kick for each of us, 2 to 11 good. But
yeah, it was definitely a game where John was not getting the breaks. You were also having really good fortune on Jordan Love's flat passes. Seemed like the only thing that the Colts were doing really well offensively was they got several short gain runs on right. I guess you got that as well with Emmanuel Wilson once too.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Well,
He did. I remember it was like 2 plays out of 3 or something where he got the right, short gain. But yeah, there's just too many holes on Richardson's card. He couldn't hit him enough.
Yeah, and he wasn't getting the must run for his quarterback that he needed either. He only got one must run of any value in the game. So just, all the things that he would have needed to come through just didn't happen. Tough game for the Colts. Both teams are at 1-1 as we head to week 2. You're going to face the Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. I saw it earlier, but now I'm trying to recall. We're going to check it out. Indianapolis Colts. That's right.
I think John can hear us, so I'm going to say, good game, John. I need to run, but better luck next time, all right?
Yeah. Listen, thanks for popping in. Always good to see you, Scott.
Thanks. Bye.
Yep. Congratulations again. John, I'm sorry we weren't able to connect with you on the audio tonight. I'm sure you'll probably have it figured out next time. I'm going to move on and continue to call this Ravens-Raiders game, but toss that one in the trash can, and you'll be ready to pick it up in week 3. All righty. Good luck, John. We'll talk to you soon. All right. So we heard from one, saw both of the coaches. Let's get back to our game. Let's first go ahead and close Indianapolis Green Bay. We don't need to see that one anymore. Moments ago, we did catch live a Derrick Henry touchdown. Looks like the extra point failed. Tucker must have missed the extra point. And so it's 6-3, Ravens ahead of the Raiders. And indeed, a failed extra point from Justin Tucker. Double sixes is what that requires. Raiders are on the move again, though. They're already at the 31 of Baltimore, 2nd down and 5. We're less than 10 minutes away from kickoff of our third game. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. Amir Abdullah in at tailback on this 2nd and 5, and here's a pitch out to him. And he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 4 on the play. It's 3rd and 9. We mentioned Baltimore's excellent on run defense. With a linebacker in zone, off tackle, 1 linebacker. On a 6, 7, and 8, middle of that card, it's -5, -4, -3. It is dangerous to run against them. Baltimore's defense does have a short gain that can be targeted on off-tackle 0 men. But the penalty of finding a linebacker in that zone can be fierce. 3rd and 9 now. Gardner Minshew out of the shotgun here for Paul Conti and the Raiders. Back to pass. He was going to go deep, but he's brought down. Sack on the play. Our Darius Washington, a loss of 6. And the Raiders are at the 41-yard line of Baltimore. That is not in field goal range. 4th and 15. They're going to have to punt. And that brings A.J. Cole out. Tough sack. Coffin corner going to be close, and it's out at the 2. Nicely done. And so the Ravens will take over at their own 2-yard line. Baltimore's up at home, 6-3 on Vegas. 11:24 left, second quarter. And backed up on the shadow of their own goal line, the Ravens come out with 3 running backs, 2 tight ends. Vegas out of the 4-3. Max Crosby, the best blitzer for Vegas, is a 9. But the right tackle and right end could blitz 7 and 6. So definitely some sack risk. And something they're going to have to keep in mind. Backed up here. Flat pass and can't get it. Lamar Jackson trying to hit Justice Hill. In the left flat, but Jackson found a soft spot on his card. It's 2nd down and 10. Both these teams looking for their first win of the year. Both lost to AFC West teams in week 1. Right back to the 3 running back formation. Lamar back out of the pistol. Lamar back to pass, looking deep, staring at the blitz. He's forced to scramble, runs around the right, gets out of the end zone, and picks up 5. So chancy call there by Coach Talaria. Gets him a little bit of room. It's 3rd and 5 now, Ravens from their own 7. Now out of the 2 tight end set, Derrick Henry beside Jackson. Raiders defense, the defensive ends are a 5, and of course Max Crosby's a 6. All 9 other defenders are 0s and 4s. 3rd and 5, off tackle draw, Derrick Henry. Henry looking for his own card. But he goes to the defense, and Henry comes up a little short. The left tackle could not make the block. Ronnie Stanley. And that kept it at a 3-yard gain, and it forces the punt. 4th and 2, they're punting from their 10. Vegas did take an injury to Tyree Wilson. He'll miss one more game. And that penalty on the punt. Back Baltimore up again. Back at their 5-yard line now, they're going to punt. Tyree Wilson's a pretty big injury. That's the Raiders' defensive right end 5, pass rush 6. To be replaced by a 0. Back from the end line, a punt. Cross midfielded, fielded at the 46 of Vegas. And a nice return by Trey Tucker into Baltimore territory down to the 38. "16-yard punt return. And the Raiders will begin this drive in Baltimore territory at the 38-yard line. Just 1 yard out of field goal range at a 2 through 7, 11 and 12. Denver and Pittsburgh are underway. We'll be getting out to that one shortly. Two tight ends set for the Raiders. It's Abdullah in the backfield. And here's a pitch out, Abdullah. Around the edge he goes and brought down right away. Malik Harrison brought him down right at the line of scrimmage. That run went to the defensive card, and like we said, that's not going to be very good against this Baltimore run defense. Baltimore is poor against the pass. That's the best place to attack them. Madison back in the game. Alexander Madison carded at 132 carries. That's the primary. And then you've got Zamir White and Amir Abdullah, both carded at 65 and 66, respectively. Three wide receivers split out on 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Quick slant over the middle, and that's going to be incomplete. Minshew was trying to hit his tight end, Brock Bowers. Pass was broken up by Roquan Smith, linebacker in zone, extra short gain. 4 on the white die, not enough to beat the former Georgia Bulldog. Already got the wrong game number, it looks like, so we'll back out of that one and come back. Raiders facing a 3rd and 10 at the 38. We mentioned they started 1 yard shy of field goal range. They've done nothing to get closer. 3rd and 10, back to pass Minshew out of the shotgun. Looking deep, he's going to Trey Tucker, and no good. Minshew on his own card, can't find it. It's 4th and 10 at the 38. Because they didn't gain a single yard, Raiders would need a +1 variable to get into field goal range here. I would think they'd still try it. You get that +1 variable, it's 2 through 7, 11, and 12. It's either that or punt or going for it 4th and 10. I'd take the chance that you might get that variable. That's just me. We're going to see what Coach Paul Conti thinks. And the Raiders are going to keep their offense on the field. So 4th and 10 at the Baltimore 38-yard line. Raiders have 3 wide receivers. They break the huddle now. Minshew out of the shotgun. And on 4th and 10, Ravens are going to show a deep 3-2-6 dime. Boy, the Ravens' extra defensive back, Marlon Humphreys, rated a 6.6. That's pretty good. Back to pass. Minshew, short. Going to his tight end. No good, incomplete. And it's a turnover on downs. Ravens will take over at their own 38, still leading 6-3. And we'll try once again to check in on Steelers Broncos. We are live from Denver. Broncos have the ball at their own 6-yard line, 1st and 10. Steelers had the opening drive, 7 plays, and had to punt. Broncos now on their first drive. Flat pass to the fullback, Michael Burton. He's got a catch. First down yardage and up near the 20-yard line. Michael Burton goes for 13. And Bo Nix now with a little more room behind him. Out of the shadow of his own goal line. Denver Broncos are coached by David Kukofka. Nix back to pass. Looks short. Going to Vele. He's got the catch. First down yardage. Brought down at the 31 by Minkah Fitzpatrick. First and 10. We mentioned the Broncos are coached by David Kukofka. The Pittsburgh Steelers are coached by Peter Shibley. Off tackle run, Javonte Williams, good space on the right side. And he gets 7. Patrick Queen on that tackle. 2nd and 3, Denver. Nix back to pass. Looking deep, forced to dump it off. In the flat to his tailback. Williams, flat and no good, incomplete. So 3rd and 3, Javonte Williams. Targeted, but a bad attempt from Nix. 3rd and 3. Nix back to pass. Looking short. The protection holds up, but he's forced to dump it off again on 3rd and 3. Right back to Javonte Williams. Williams makes the catch, makes the scamper, breaks a tackle, and he's got good yardage across midfield and brought down at the Pittsburgh 47. Gain of 15 on the play. So the Broncos cross midfield. 1st and 10, another screen. This one goes right back to Javonte, and another good catch, and up ahead for a first down again. Ten-yard catch from Javonte Williams. Now at the Pittsburgh 37-yard line. Screen, right side, right back to Javonte Williams. Yak opportunity for him, and Javonte is up close to another first down. Gain of 9 on the play. 2nd and 1 at the Pittsburgh 28. Baltimore had to punt it back to the Raiders. They take over at their own 10-yard line. 6.5 left to go in the first half. Ravens still lead 6-3. Seven-yard run for Estime for a first down, and the Broncos are now 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 21-yard line. Nix back to pass, looking short. He's going for his tailback, Javonte Williams, and it's no good, incomplete. That on the 3-man column of the defensive short pass card, 2nd down and 10. Knicks 5 of 7 so far. Steelers rate excellent against the run defensively and average to good against the pass. Couple of tough defenses here in this matchup. 2nd and 10. Pitch out goes to Jaleel McLaughlin around the right side, and he's got 6 yards on the play. 5 on the white die beat the defensive end, Larry Ogunjobi. The Broncos now have a 3rd and 4 at the Pittsburgh 15-yard line. Chippy field goal range for Will Lutz, but the Broncos looking to keep him off the field and move the sticks. 3rd and 4 from the 15. They got 3 wide receivers in there. Pitt in a 3-4. There's a flat pass right back to the tailback again. Javonte's got the catch, and he's real close. He stretches, and it's a first down. Javonte with his 4th catch of the game. I think they may all be on this drive. That one got the 4 yards needed for the first down at the 11-yard line of Pittsburgh. Back to pass and looking deep and incomplete. Interesting call from the 11-yard line. Bo Nix going long to Marvin Mims, 2nd and 10. Still at the 11. Flat pass is in play for the Broncos. Here's a pitch out right side. Linebacker in zone, and it's going to be a gain of 5. I mentioned linebacker in zone, but that's not what the reading said, so that's the difference. Gain of 5, 3rd and 5 at the 6-yard line of Pittsburgh. First possession of the game for the Broncos. This is their 14th play of the drive. That begin back near their own 5-yard line. 3 wide receivers, 1 halfback now for Denver. Steelers in a 3-4. They crash run, back to pass. Looking short, going to Vele. It's no good, incomplete. But a penalty, and it was against the Steelers, encroachment. And so another chance at 3rd down here. 3rd and 2. From the Pittsburgh 3. 2 yards for a first down. 3 for a touchdown. 2 tight end offense. Javonte Williams, the tailback. Sutton and Vele are split out wide. Safety shows blitz. A handoff. Off tackle. And he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. TJ Watt gets him. Big defensive play, and it's 4th and 3 at the Pittsburgh 4. Watt forces the kicker, Will Lutz, onto the field, and he drills a chippy 21-yard attempt. Denver is out in front, 3-0. The ensuing kickoff is a touchback, and the Steelers will take over at the 4:30 mark of the first quarter, 1st and 10 at their own 30. Down 3-0 on the road. Raiders now at midfield again, back in Baltimore.
Second down and 5. Back to pass. Looking short. Minshew going to Brock Bowers. Incomplete. He was double teamed. That was the only reason that pass was incomplete, but a penalty on the defense. Encroachment on the Ravens, and that's 5 yards and enough for a first down. So now in Baltimore territory at the 45-yard line. 3 minutes, 18 seconds left in the first half. Raiders trail 6-3, trying to drive for at least a tying field goal here. Daniel Carlson has range all the way out to the 37, so another 8 yards would get him close enough to try and tie this up. Here's a pitch out for the running back. That's going to go 5 yards to Amir Abdullah. So 2nd and 5 now at the Baltimore 40. Coach Paul Conti keeping the Raiders close in this game. Defensive struggle so far. Raiders have outgained the Ravens 159 to 119. Both teams still all 3 timeouts. Clock winding down to 2:42 and counting. Tailback for the Raiders on 2nd and 5 is Abdullah. There's a pitch out to Abdullah, and he's going to get a couple. Call it 3 yards. That leaves him with some work to do. Raiders offense now staring at a 3rd and 2 at the Baltimore 37. That's exactly at the fringe of field goal range, 2 through 7, 11 and 12. It's 3rd and 2. Baltimore sustained an injury on the play to Brandon Stevens. Right cornerback 0. So that one not a serious injury. 3rd and 2 Raiders at the Baltimore 37. That Brandon Stevens injury, he will be available next week. Minshew out of the shotgun here for Vegas. 3 wide receivers on the field, so they're certainly not showing run on 3rd and 2. Coach Tulare has got the Ravens defense out in a nickel. Late first quarter, still 3-0 Broncos. Denver just crossed midfield. 3rd and 2 here. Raiders, here's a hitch. This is going to Trey Tucker. Nice yak opportunity set up for him, and it's a first down, but just a gain of 3. That could have been a lot worse. Quarterback had the wrong column, and all 3 of those yards came on the quarterback card. Trey Tucker, not a good yak player. We reached the 2-minute warning in Baltimore. Ravens are up 6-3, but that lead is precarious. Raiders have the ball, 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 34-yard line. And Gardner Minshew once again coming out in a shotgun. Flat pass, quick out, going to his tight end. Brock Bowers, incomplete, cannot make the catch. Coach Paul Conti sent that flat pass to the right side. Linebacker, there's a 4. Kyle Van Noy made the play. If that flat pass had gone to the other side, Bowers springs for a first down. 2nd down and 10. Raiders from the 34. And that'll drop the Ravens defense back into a nickel. Minshew out of the shotgun. Flat pass again, going right back to Brock Bowers. He's got the catch, and he's good for 5 yards on the play. It was actually Minshew's interception split roll, but in the wrong column. That's a +5 when he doesn't get the pick. So 3rd down and 5 now at the 29 of Baltimore. Both teams let the clock run. With a full complement of timeouts, clock ticks down to 1:22 left, first half. Back in Denver, the Broncos are now in the red zone, 2nd and 10 at the Steelers' 17-yard line. We'll keep an eye on that one as well. On 3rd and 5, Ravens have their nickel defense out there. Madison's the tailback here. Quick slant going to his tight end. Brock Bowers, receiver opportunity. No good. Bowers only has 2 incompletions on the right column, but he got one of them. So 4th and 5 at the 29 of Baltimore. There's an injury here too, and a big one. Nnamdi Madubuike. Field goal attempt coming, I think, for the Raiders. 4th and 5 at the 29. Daniel Carlson's coming out. 46-yard field goal attempt. Should be a 2 through 8 and 12. Kick is up, and he drills it to tie the ball game at 6 just before halftime. We mentioned an injury to Nnamdi Madubuike. That is a defensive left end for Baltimore, who's a 6 with a pass rush 6. So a big injury to Madubuike. He'll be out for the remainder of the game to return next week. Nice kick return, by the way, for the Ravens. And with 60 seconds left in the first half, they take over at their own 36 in a 6-6 ball game. Broncos just got a touchdown. Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton, 7-yard TD strike. And the Broncos at home are up on the Steelers now, 10-0. Early second quarter action there. Here's a screen back in Baltimore. Flat pass, no good to Justice Hill. AFC West versus AFC North action in both of our remaining games. On 2nd and 10, Ravens set up 2 tight ends. Lamar's in the pistol. Ravens show a 4-2-5. Lamar back to pass. Got a button hook going right over the middle. This one's going to Justice Hill. Hill's got an A-rated yak. Receiver is the result, and that pass is going to be caught, but just a 4-yard pickup on that one. That on the receiver card of Justice Hill. So 3rd down and 6 at the 40-yard line of Baltimore. And these teams just appear fine to let the clock run. It's now down to 30 seconds. Baltimore not using their timeouts. Really not angling to get in field goal position here. We appear to be headed for a likely 6-6 halftime tie between these two teams. George Pickens just caught a nice flat pass for Pittsburgh as they move toward the red zone. Now 1st and 10 at the Denver 22-yard line. back in Baltimore. 3rd and 6. Lamar out of the pistol set. He's got both his tight ends on the field. Justice Hill, the tailback. Raiders showing a 4-2-5 again, so a little eye candy in the middle. They fill that middle zone, but it's a flat pass. Those zones are empty. So an empty zone here going to Justice Hill. He's got the catch. First down yardage. He is right at midfield and out of bounds. Clock stops with 22 seconds remaining. 1st and 10 at the Vegas, or I should say, right at the 50-yard line. Trying to get Justin Tucker in range. His range is out to the 39 in this card set. So another 11 yards. Vegas looks past, but it's run. Lamar around the edge, and he's going to get just 2 yards. Gets out of bounds, stopping the clock with 15 seconds left in this first half. Lamar got it on his card just like you want it, but got the worst roll you can get in the wrong column. Just a 2-yard gain, so it's 2nd and 8 at the 48. Two tight ends set again for the Ravens. 4-2-5 from the defense. Lamar back to pass. Lamar looking deep. Goes to his card. Going to Flowers. He's got the catch. Down to the 20-yard line where he's brought down. There's a penalty on the play, but that appears to be against the defense. And there's another injury to Baltimore. Isaiah Likely goes off the field. Eight seconds remain. And we will probably see Justin Tucker unless they want to try to run one more play. And they will indeed. Two tight ends set for the Ravens. Lamar out of the pistol. Isaiah Likely will be out next week as well. So a tough injury there for the Ravens. Just 8 seconds left here in the first half. Ravens looking to get one shot at the end zone maybe before settling for that field goal attempt. And run. Lamar caught the defense looking pass. Lamar looking for his card to get a break. He's got his card, and Lamar is around the edge. He's got good space, but he's going to be run out of bounds near the 10. Lamar got a short gain from the 20, so the odds weren't good at that point. Stops the clock. 1 second left from the 9-yard line. Justin Tucker to give the Ravens a halftime lead. The 26-yard field goal attempt from Tucker is good. Halftime in Baltimore. Ravens have taken the lead 9-6. Both teams with between 170 and 174 yards. So a close matchup there. A defensive struggle so far between Baltimore and Vegas. They get ready to kick off the second half, and we check in Denver, where the Steelers have gotten on the board. They're down 10-7 now. That drive we were looking at earlier ended up in a Najee Harris 7-yard touchdown run The score is 10-7 now. 2nd and 22. Steelers are backed up. A nice run up the middle. That's going to be Jalen Warren going off for 17 yards. Got a box on the defensive card. And the Steelers go from 2nd and 22 to 3rd and 5 at their own 20. .5:42 left before halftime in this one. Off tackle run, and that's going to be Najee Harris, who busts through and gets some yards. Gain of 5, or actually a gain of 4 on the play. But Denver was flagged for a penalty, so they'll take the penalty yards instead. That's good enough for a first down. 1st and 10. Steelers from their own 25-yard line. Steelers coach Peter Shibley won the USFFL Super Bowl a few years ago. Sack on that play. Russell Wilson brought down by the outside linebacker, Jonathan Cooper. And just like that, it's a 2nd and 16. Pittsburgh back at their 19. 2 tight ends set for the Steelers. Freiermuth in Washington. Broncos out of the nickel. Safety up close. He shows blitz. And he does blitz. Pitch out. Left side, Najee Harris. He's going to get 5. And that'll make it a more manageable 3rd and 11 for the Steelers. Packers beat the Colts earlier tonight, 28-0. Anthony Richardson struggled mightily. Out of the shotgun, back to pass. Looking short, forced to scramble with it. Russ around the left side. He's going to get a few yards there. Not enough for a first down. 6 yards on the carry. It's 4th and 5. Punter's out. And Waitman with a punt down to the 22-yard line. Marvin Mims settles underneath it and muffs it. Mims drops it. It's on the ground. Let's see who's got it. And it is picked up by Denver, and they run it ahead for a few yards. Mims almost coughed it up. Turnover-free football so far. That one was close. Broncos take over now. They're up 10-7. 3 minutes and change left here in the first half. They begin at their own 28. And it's first down run call. Pitch out left side goes to Jaleel McLaughlin, and he's got 5. McLaughlin fails a split roll in the hunt for 15. Settles for 5. It's 2nd and 5. McLaughlin still in at tailback. Pitch out again to him. This time to the right side. Linebacker in zone. And it's going to be 3 yards only. T.J. Watt was standing in that zone and brought him to the ground. His 4th tackle saves the first down. It's 3rd and 2. That would have been another 15 split roll if Watt hadn't stacked that zone. Three wide receivers, 1 halfback now is Javonte Williams. Bo Nix under center on this 3rd and 2. Steelers in a 3-4. Back to pass, screen, left side, empty zone, but it's going to be a dead ball foul. That play was shaping up nicely for the Broncos. Had Williams, the tailback, all alone on the left side, but they were called for a motion penalty. 3rd and 7 Broncos at their 31. You got to expect T.J. Watt maybe coming on this one. There's a screen pass to the tailback. He's doubled, and it's incomplete. Nice play there, defensive coach Peter Shibley. On 3rd down, that forces a punt, 4th and 7. 49-yard punt fielded and fair caught right at the 20. And the Steelers will take over right there. We've reached the 2-minute warning in Denver. Broncos on top of the Steelers 10-7. Steelers now in a 2-minute offense. Russ Wilson going to see if he can tie it up. Both these teams came out 1-0 after week 1. Only one of these two teams can still be a perfect 2-0 after tonight. Here's an all-out blitz. Screen pass right over it. That goes to Jaylen Warren, and he can't get it. He drops the pass. Why do I say he dropped it? He had the wrong column, and 7's the only incompletion. It was on his card. He got the only incompletion. If that's not a drop, I don't know what is. 2nd and 10. So a good call there from Coach Shibley. Russ back to pass. Got a button hook over the middle. This one's going to his tailback, Najee Harris. He can't get it. He is brought down. Sack on the play. Wilson is down. The ball's out. The ball's loose. There's a mad scramble. Let's see who's got it. And the Broncos have recovered the fumble. Russ Wilson got the sack fumble rating. He's always been known to cough it up during his career, and he did it there. Broncos take over at the 16. Back to pass, looking short. This is going to Marvin Mims. Catch made. To the end zone he goes. Touchdown. And immediate points off that turnover for the Broncos. Nix to Marvin Mims. A 16-yard touchdown strike. His second touchdown pass of the game. Extra point is good, and the Broncos are up at home on Pittsburgh, 17-7. Boy, a fumble by Russ Wilson on that play, and it all turned around quickly. So now the Steelers have the ball, 1:22 remaining at their 30. But instead of being down by 3, they're down by 10. Back to pass, incomplete. Pass interference, though, on the defense there. And that'll get Pittsburgh out to the 47-yard line. Still a minute 15 to go before halftime. Russ can try to get him in field goal range at least and cut this to a 1-score lead. Screen pass. Najee Harris has got the catch, but brought down quickly by Nick Benito. Gain of 3. That makes it 2nd and 7 right at midfield. Pittsburgh field goal range for Chris Boswell is very good, all the way out to the 40-yard line. So just 10 more yards to accomplish that. Back to pass. Russ Wilson looks deep, but he's forced to run with it. Goes around the left side, close to a first down, and pushed out of bounds. Actually, he's brought down. They rule him inbounds, and Pittsburgh takes their first time out to stop the clock with 60 seconds left. Russ got 6, needed 7. It's 3rd and 1. Steelers come out in a blocking back set. Here's a quick slant over the middle to Pat Freiermuth. Linebacker in zone. We go to the defensive card. Receiver opportunity. Freiermuth's got the catch and a first down, but he fumbles the ball. Another fumble by the Steelers. It is on the ground. Let's see who's got it. And it is picked up by the Broncos. There is a penalty. And all of that is for naught. We have a dead ball foul on the offense. Boy, I'd love to have seen that coming earlier. 3rd down and 6 down for Pittsburgh. Disaster averted. Broncos showing blitz out of the nickel. They guess run, hitch, and incomplete. Trying to hit Pickens on that play. George Pickens couldn't make the catch. 4th down and 6. And from the 49 of Denver, they're going to punt. And Pittsburgh puts that ball out. Waitman does at the 7-yard line. Broncos will take over there. Just 45 seconds remain in the first half. First down run of 7 yards out to the 14. And we might see both teams content to run the clock. They do. This one's heading towards halftime. We'll go ahead and stay for one more snap here. Inside run, Javonte Williams, and he's going to get just a yard, but that will be the end of the first half as the teams let the clock run out. We're at halftime in Denver. Broncos are up on the Steelers thanks to a big turnover from Russ Wilson. 17-7 is your halftime score. Denver has outgained the Steelers 192-128. Bo Nix, 14-20 for 143 yards. Russell Wilson, just 44 yards passing in that first half. So that game's at halftime. They're going to take a short break. Let's check in on Baltimore and see what's going there. In Baltimore, Ravens are still up 9-6. Raiders have the ball, 3rd and 2, right at midfield. Ravens had the ball first here in the second half, but a quick 4 and out. And then it appears they had a pretty poor punt. Raiders now 3rd and 2 at the 50. Screen goes to Madison. Yak opportunity set up nicely for him, but he blows it. That was a +2 from the quarterback, which is a first down, but Madison, despite being great with his yak, gets the worst roll, loses a yard, and that means it's 4th and 1 at the Baltimore 49, and Coach Paul Conte's got a decision in front of him. It's a defensive struggle. He's going to go for it. 4th and 1 at the Baltimore 49. 2 tight ends set for the Raiders. Ravens have that excellent run defense. And the Raiders have called a timeout. They may have reconsidered. I'd say they've at least reconsidered their formation. And indeed, the punter is coming on here. So Cole is on to punt it for Las Vegas from the Baltimore 49. Coffin corner angles it, but it is not going to get out of bounds. Going to be fielded at the 11-yard line, and a fair catch right there by Deontay Hardy. 11:42 left in the third quarter. Ravens up 9-6. They take over at their own 11. 2 tight end set. Lamar out of the pistol. Lamar Jackson beside him. Derrick Henry beside him. Derrick Henry, first half, just 7 carries and 48 yards. Motion penalty on the Ravens, back them up. Ravens now 1st and 15, back at their own 6. Injury to the right end. Gets a 5 off the field, but pass rush rating is even better. There's some risk here. Backed up at your own 6, 1st and 15. 4-2-5 is the defense shown here by the Raiders. Little eye candy over the middle, and indeed we've got a button hook. Linebackers blitz from the outside. Flats are open. Look in going to Derrick Henry. He's got the catch, but brought down quickly there by Trevor Moehrig. Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd and 10, Baltimore at the 11. Lamar again out of the pistol with two tight ends. With Likely out. Charlie Kolar is another tight end here. Lamar back to pass, forced to scramble, must run, good yardage, first down and more, and up ahead for a pickup of 22. Lamar Jackson dropped a 3 on that must-run chart. And the Ravens now 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Lamar 40 yards rushing in this game. First down screen pass, right side, goes to the halfback. Henry's got it, but brought down quickly. Tackle on the play by Amari Burney. And it's 2nd and 11. Lamar back to pass. Scans the field, looks short, and he's throwing for his tight end. No good, incomplete. Couldn't quite connect with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens are staring at a 3rd down and 11. Lamar, 11 of 17 passing in this game. Blocking back set. He's still out of a pistol, though. Fullback Ricard is back there as well. 4-1-6 dime. And here's an off-tackle draw. Derrick Henry brought down quickly after just a 2-yard gain. That one went to the defensive card. Bad break for Derrick Henry. And it's 4th and 9. The Ravens are going to have to punt. From their own 34, Jordan Stout. That's a punt of 47 yards, fielded back at the 19 for Amir Abdullah. And a nice return out to the 30. 12-yard scamper from Abdullah. And the Raiders will begin. 1st and 10 at their own 31. Baltimore still up by a field goal. Second half now underway in Denver. Broncos with the first possession. And they've got a 3rd and 7 at their own 33. Broncos up 17-7. Back in Baltimore now. Two tight ends set. Minshew's under center. Ravens show a 3-4. And it's an off tackle. That goes to the defensive card, and it's going to be a big loss. Baltimore's Brent Urban on the tackle. A loss of 5 on that one, as it was a jailbreak up front. I warned you earlier about those linebackers in those off tackle zones. If you go hunting for that short gain on the defensive card, there's a risk. 2nd and 15. Now Minshew out of the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers out there now. Tucker's in the slot. Here's a quick slant over the middle. That goes to Brock Bowers. Yak opportunity for him. Tight end makes a catch. And he's got good yardage out across the 35, across the 40. First down at the 43-yard line. Gain of 17 on the play. Brock Bowers with a B-rated Yak comes through. His 6th catch, 66 yards. First and 10 now. Here's a pitch out. Madison around the edge, and he's going to lose a yard. Got that on the defensive card with no linebackers in the zone. Still a -1. There's just nothing there for you on Baltimore's card running it. You'd be lucky to find anything. 2nd and 11. Second 11 back to pass. Minshew looks short and no good, incomplete. There is a penalty. And that's going to be against Baltimore. Illegal contact, 5 yards, and that should come with a first down, and it does. Ravens are now out to the 47-yard line. I'm sorry, the Raiders are out to their 47-yard line. Two tight ends set. Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer, the bookends. Ravens out of a 3-4. They're guessing run, but it's pass. Flat, left side. Tight end Michael Mayer got the catch. Good yardage. Great pass there from Minshew. And that's going to be all the way down to the 37-yard line. Michael Mayer goes for 16. And the Raiders are first and 10 at the Baltimore 37. This has traditionally been when things have gone sideways for them. They've been down here a couple times, but haven't been able to get that field goal to tie the game yet. They'll stay in the two tight end set. Minshew back to pass. He looks short. This one's going to Brock Bowers. Got the catch and the first down. Tackled at the 25 by safety Kyle Hamilton. And the Raiders are on the move. Now at the 25-yard line. Seventh play of the drive coming up. Madison still the single tailback in a two tight end set. First down flat pass goes to the left side, and that's going to be a penalty to blow it dead. It looked like the Raiders had something brewing there in the flat out there to Brock Bowers, but dead ball foul. Raiders face a first and 15 now from the 30. And that'll put Gardner Minshew in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. Here's an update from Denver and a nice run there. Javonte Williams got a 43 on the defensive card. That could have been a touchdown, but his longest run is decidedly shorter than that. Just 20. But a 20-yard run for Javonte Williams. And the Broncos are now in the red zone and to the end zone. Touchdown pass. He was looking long, and Bo Nix settled for a dump off to tight end Adam Troutman. And Troutman found an opening in the seam up the middle and just darted right into the end zone. And the Broncos open up a 17-point lead on Pittsburgh, 24-7. Let's check back in at Baltimore. Raiders facing a 2nd and 3. Minshew had a 12-yard pass to Trey Tucker to set up this short yardage situation. Two tight ends set for Vegas. Zamir White is the tailback. Here's an off-tackle run. Zamir White, and he's got a first down. Zamir White goes for 6 yards. Did it on the defensive card, too. Beat the nose tackle in that formation with a 5 on the White die. 1st and 10 now, Raiders at the 12-yard line. Easily in field goal range to tie it up, but they could also drive this last 12 yards and take the lead here. Paul Conti brings the Raiders out in a 2 tight end set. Coach Delaria's got the Ravens in there 3-4. Minshew back to pass. Scans the field. Looks short to Myers. No good, incomplete. Tried to hit Jacoby Myers, and Minshew couldn't find it on his card. 2nd down and 10. Three wide receivers split out now for Vegas. Minshew's out of the shotgun. He's got Madison beside him. The safety is up close for Baltimore, showing blitz. That's our Darius Washington. Minshew back to pass. Looking short, and he's going to be brought down. Sack on the play. Kyle Van Noy. A 7-yard sack of Minshew. And that makes it 3rd and 7 at the 19. From right here, it's still a 2 through 10 field goal as long as you don't drop past the 22. Tough to get a touchdown from the 19-yard line here on 3rd down. Let's see what Coach Paul Conti has in mind. Minshew's in a shotgun, 3 wide receivers. Nickel showing blitz again. Washington up close for the Ravens. And maybe that's your answer. Maybe you attack short, try to get that cross, and make that your ticket to get that 19 yards. Shoot for that on the defensive card. Of course, we just talked about you lose any yardage and you're going to lose a better field goal range. Let's see what Coach Paul Conti thinks. 3:36 remains, 3rd quarter. Back to pass. He's looking long. And Minshew to the end zone. No good, incomplete. Tried to hit Trey Tucker. And it's 4th and 17 from the 19. And should be a 2 through 10, barring a terrible variable roll. Daniel Carlson from 36 yards. This field goal is up, and it is good. And with just over 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Las Vegas Raiders put a field goal through their 3rd, 1 in each quarter. And the Ravens and Raiders are all tied up at 9 apiece. Boy, and the Raiders come right back with great coverage on their ensuing kickoff. Justice Hill tackled at the 12, and that's where Baltimore will begin. 9-9 tie in that one. Let's check into Denver. Pittsburgh got a touchdown. We missed it again, but they've cut it to 24-14. Pittsburgh scored on another 9-yard touchdown run for Najee Harris, his 2nd of the game. 24-14, Broncos on top, and the Broncos have a 2nd and 10 at their own 30. Back to pass, looking deep. Bo Nix going for Cortland Sutton. It's an empty zone and actually short pass. My apologies. I thought that was long. It's a 10-yard pass to Cortland Sutton. Just his 2nd catch of the game. First one since the touchdown early. Broncos 1st and 10 at the 40. Back to pass, looking deep. Nobody in the zone. Going deep and no good, incomplete. Got it on the defensive card. Rolled to 12. The 11 was the long gain down there. We do have an injury on the play to the Steelers. Keanu Benton. That's a nose tackle 5. That's a big injury for the Steelers. Check on seeing how long that one is. 2nd down and 10. Steelers bring out the nickel. Here's an off-tackle run. Javonte Williams going nowhere. Loses a yard. Dean Lowry on the tackle, and the Broncos face a 3rd and 11. That injury to the nose tackle of Pittsburgh is for the remainder of this game. He will return in week 3. 3rd and 11. Knicks back to pass. Short. Sutton's got it. Stretches, and not enough. Needed 11 for a first down. Got 10. 4th and 1. Broncos are up by 10 points. They're at their own 49. They're going for it. Steelers could use a stop. They crash short yardage defense. Screen pass goes to Javonte Williams, and he's got the catch. And he's ahead 4 yards and a first down. Move the sticks. Gamble pays off for Coach David Kukofka. Knicks now 19 of 30 for 198. And a trio of touchdown strikes. 1st and 10, off tackle run, and Javonte Williams is going to lose 2 more. Linebacker in zone. Pittsburgh defensive card's going to get you. 2nd and 12. 3 wide receivers now out there. Broncos still have 2 running backs. Defense looks pass. It's run. Off tackle and up ahead for 5 yards is Javonte Williams. That'll make it 3rd and 7 in Pittsburgh territory at the 44 as we reach the end of the 3rd quarter in Denver. Broncos up at home, 24-10. And they've got a 3rd and 7 here. They're going to run it. Off tackle. Javonte Williams trying to get 7. Goes to the defensive card, and Williams is ahead for 5. Beat that replacement nose tackle, but not enough for a first down. It's 4th and 2. Broncos at the Pittsburgh 39. They're going to go for it. Broncos go 2 tight ends. 1 yard shy of field goal range. They're going to go for this 4th and 2. Steelers in a 3-4D. Back to pass, but he's going to run with it. Knicks around the edge and run, and he's got 5 yards. Looked like he was going to pass, but he called his own number on an end run. Defense called pass and allowed Knicks on his own card to spring and move the sticks. 1st and 10, Broncos now at the 34. Here's a pitch out, right side. This one's going to the tailback, Jaleel McLaughlin. McLaughlin on his card, gets the corner inside the 30, and a big gain all the way down to the 16-yard line. Gain of 18 on the play for McLaughlin. And the Broncos are into the red zone of Pittsburgh. Denver's been in the red zone 3 times. They have 17 points so far. In run again, and this time McLaughlin gets just 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. If you're Coach Shibley and the Steelers, it's critical you hold them to a field goal attempt here and keep it within a 2-touchdown radius. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Bo Nix, flat pass, goes to Lucas Kroll. He's got the catch, and not enough for a first down, though. Nice tackle there by Alex Highsmith. And it sets up a 3rd and 3 at the 9. Big play coming up here. Flat pass is out of order at the 9. Steelers safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, shows blitz on this one. Back to pass, looking short. This one's going to go to Vele. Touchdown, he's got it. Bo Nix with his 4th touchdown strike of the game. 3rd catch of the game for Vele. Extra point is up and good. And at the 12-18 mark of the 4th quarter, Broncos now up by 17 points on Pittsburgh, 31-14. And looks like we just missed a touchdown. Lamar Jackson A 50-yard touchdown pass to Mark Andrews. Extra point is good, and the Ravens are up 16-9 on the Raiders. That game now also in the fourth quarter. Right now, we'll stay with Vegas and Baltimore. Fourth quarter action, Ravens up by a touchdown. Raiders have the ball. They'll begin at their own 30. Steelers are 3 scores down in Denver, but we'll keep an eye on it as they have just crossed midfield into Denver territory. Back in Baltimore now. 1st and 10 Raiders. Madison the tailback. Minshew back to pass. Looks short. Has some pressure. Forced to dump it off. That's going to Brock Bowers. That's good news for the Raiders. Receiver opportunity, and Bowers has the catch. And he's ahead for a first down on a gain of 11. Brock Bowers on flat pass right on his card. Coming through to move the sticks. Bowers now 8 catches, 89 yards. Raiders still in a 2 tight end set. Waiting on the play call here from Paul Conti. And here it comes. Minshew back to pass. He's looking short. This one's going to Jacoby Myers. Split roll opportunity, and Myers cannot get it. On the defensive card, needed a 2 through 6 or 12 for a first down completion. Didn't get the roll, and the Raiders stare at a 2nd and 10. Let's switch briefly over to Denver, where the Steelers are now in the red zone. 2nd and 7 at the Denver 12. So they've responded with a good drive. Here's a pitch out, Najee Harris, and he's going to go 9 yards and a first down. Went to the side that did not have a linebacker in zone, and that made a big difference. 1st and goal at the 3 for the Steelers. Full house formation for Pittsburgh. 7th play of the drive, run up the middle, and it's going to be 2 yards. Jalen Warren. That'll make it 2nd and goal at the 1. Pittsburgh trying to cut this down to a 10-point game. Still 8:24 remaining. Broncos crash run. Back to pass. Short and no good. Incomplete. And actually, he's called for intentional grounding. Oh, terrible break for the Steelers. It's now 3rd and goal at the 11. Terrible time for Russ Wilson to get that intentional grounding. 3 wide receivers split out for Pitt. Russ Wilson out of the shotgun. Here's a screen going out to Najee Harris. He's got a catch and 7 yards. Makes it 4th and goal at the 4. And that's going to bring out Boswell. They'll take the field goal. It's good. And that'll make it a 2-score game. Broncos 31, Steelers 17. And the Broncos get a nice kick return from Marvin Mims. They'll begin at their own 39. Just under 7 minutes remaining in this one. Broncos with the ball and a 2-touchdown lead. Pittsburgh defense on the road going to have to get to work. Let's head back to Baltimore, where the Ravens have the ball and the lead at their own 20. 1st and 10. Raiders just had to punt a 65-yard boomer. Defense guesses run, but it's flat. Lamar Jackson going for his tight end, Mark Andrews, and that's going to be no good, incomplete. Found a bad spot on the defensive card, 2nd down and 10. 12 minutes left in the game here in Baltimore. Raiders just down by 7, 16-9. Lamar out of the pistol. He's got Derrick Henry beside him. 2 tight ends. Derrick Henry just 10 rushes in this game. Back to pass Lamar. He's looking deep. We've got an empty zone there. Let's see if he can avoid the blitz. Lamar gets around the blitz, but he's forced to dump it off. It's going to the flat to Rashad Bateman. He's got the catch, and that's good for 13 and a first down. So move the chains. Ravens now out to the 33-yard line. And the Broncos have got another touchdown on the board. They have extended to a 21-point lead. Cortland Sutton from Bo Nix, their second touchdown connection of this game, 46-yard touchdown pass. Bo Nix for the Broncos in this game, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a rating of over 128. The Broncos well on their way to a 2-0 start. Back in Baltimore now, Ravens 1st and 10 at the 23 of the Raiders. Here's a pitch out, goes to Derrick Henry. And it's a short gain to Henry. Henry goes for 16 yards into the red zone and not tackled until the 7-yard line. And 1st and goal at the 7. Ravens in a full house set. And indeed, I was just checking. Derrick Henry ripped off back-to-back runs for 44 and 16. 2 carries for 16 yards. And then he just capped off the drive with an 8-yard touchdown run. Derrick Henry did all the work on that drive. 3 carries, 68 yards total, and a touchdown as the Ravens extend to a lead of 22-9. Extra point pending. And Justin Tucker drills it. And with just under 10 minutes remaining in Baltimore, Ravens are now up by 14 points, 23-9. Steelers trail by 21. Just over 3 minutes remains in that one. There's a short pass, incomplete. And the Steelers on 4th and 14 will punt. We'll be back there to catch the end. There's a quick slant by the Raiders to tight end Michael Mayer. He's got the catch and good room over the middle. Let's see how far he can go. He's out across the 40, across the 50, and down to the 43-yard line of Baltimore. That was a long gain on flat pass snake eyes on the defensive card. but didn't pick the receiver that has the most yardage to gain there. 9 minutes left. Ravens still up by 14. Raiders in Baltimore territory now after that completion to Michael Mayer. Gardner Minshew back to pass. He's looking short, but he's forced to dump it off. We're in the flats now, going to Alexander Madison out of the backfield. He's got a catch, short gain only. Pick up a 5. That'll get you to the Baltimore 38-yard line, 2nd down and 5. Two tight ends set here for the Raiders. Ravens go to a nickel on 2nd and 5. And a pitch out to Amir Abdullah. Good for 8 yards, and there's a face mask penalty on that to boot. So the Raiders now, the ball advanced all the way down to the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. So 8:24 to go here in the 4th quarter. Raiders down by 2 touchdowns are now into the red zone. They can't get a field goal here, though. I would think it's got to be 4-down territory. And down to just 8 seconds left here in Denver, the Broncos are going to walk out of their home game with an impressive opener. 5 touchdown passes from Bo Nix en route to a 38-17 rout of the Steelers. Excuse me. Let's check back in at Baltimore. Still 1st and 10 at the 15. Raiders come out on a 2 tight end set. And they're going to start with a run. Off tackle goes to the right side. Alexander Madison, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 4. Madison loses 4 yards, and it's 2nd and 14 at the 19. Boy, it seems like Coach Tulare has had a good percentage of having linebackers in that off-tackle zone when the defensive card gets called up, and it's been hurting the Raiders all night. Vegas just 45 rushes in this game on 23 attempts. Less than 2 yards a carry. 2nd and 14, 3 wide receivers split out. Minshew's out of the shotgun. Safety for the Ravens up close, showing blitz. They're out of the nickel. Back to pass, looking short, and Minshew sacked. Brought to the ground, he fumbles it. It is loose. Who's got it? All the way back outside the 30, and it is going to be recovered by Baltimore, and they pick it up, and they're running with it. They're across midfield, inside the 45, 40, 35, and brought down there. Michael Pierce picked up that fumble and ran with it. Gardner Minshew, the big turnover. I believe that's the 2nd sack fumble of this game. I stand corrected. But a big turnover, and the Ravens now 14-point lead, have the ball at the Vegas 35-yard line. The clock ticks, under 7 minutes remaining now. Lamar out of the pistol set, 2 tight ends. Here's a button hook going to Derrick Henry. Linebacker is in zone for Vegas. We go to the defensive card, and that's going to be incomplete. Interception split roll. Vegas not too good at that. It's 3rd and 10. It's an important play here. 6:18, make it 6:36 to go. 3rd and 10 at the 35 of Vegas. From right there, Justin Tucker's just a 2 through 7. Ravens looking to extend to a 3-score lead with a field goal at least. There goes Lamar Jackson running it around the end. He's up close to a first down and tackled just a yard short. Isaiah Polamalu. And it's 4th and 1 from the 26 right here. Pretty much a chip shot field goal here from the Ravens. Well, no, it's not. 2 through 7 and 12. I stand corrected. Not a lot of range there for Justin Tucker. So, on 4th and 1, Coach Tillery is going to go for it. Blocking back formation. Fullback is Ricard. Henry the tailback. Lamar's in the pistol beside him. Raiders show a 4-3. Short yardage defense. QB sneak. Lamar Jackson goes to the defensive card, and Lamar breaks right through and gets all the way down to the 11-yard line before he's tackled by Polamalu. So Lamar Jackson moves the chains. Why does it still show 1 second left in this game? That concerns me enough. I think I need to let those coaches know. I could be wrong. It could just be what I'm seeing. All right, we'll ask our 2 coaches to check on that. And it looks like Baltimore scored another touchdown while we were away. And they're now pouring it on the Las Vegas Raiders. Derrick Henry caught an 11-yard touchdown pass. 3 touchdowns for the Ravens here in the fourth quarter to break up what was a 7-point game. Ravens are now up 30-9. Six-yard sideline pass there. 2nd and 4. So let's sort of wrap up that Denver game. Broncos had a 17-7 halftime lead. Turning point on that with the score 10-7 and the Steelers with the ball trailing by 3. Russell Wilson fumbled. And one play later, Bo Nix put it in for a touchdown. Quick turnaround. Points off turnovers, and that made it a 17-7 halftime lead. Broncos got the better of them in the second half as well, outscoring him 21-10. Congratulations to Coach David Kukofka. His Broncos start 2-0 with victories over the Seahawks and Steelers. A couple of coaches that have won Super Bowls in this here league. Denver outgained them 395-252. Russell Wilson just 120 yards passing and that big fumble. So the Broncos, as we said, they start 2-0. The Pittsburgh Steelers even their record. They won their opener against the Falcons. And the Steelers fall to 1-1. The Steelers in week 3 will stay against the AFC West. They'll be hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers coming off a loss this week to the Carolina Panthers. The Denver Broncos, on the other hand, after back-to-back wins, will be on the road again as they travel to Tampa Bay to face Vince Triple-Peace and his Tampa Bay Buccaneers. .336 remaining here. We'll stay for the conclusion of this one. Snap fumble. And it's on the ground again, and Baltimore has recovered yet another fumble. Already up 30-9. The Ravens will take over with just over 3 minutes remaining in this game. Two fumbles by the Raiders in this game, both lost. Gardner Minshew also had an interception. 3 turnovers to 0, and you're usually going to lose the ball game. Inside run, Keaton Mitchell. Save that just in case. Let's take a look ahead to tomorrow, see what's on tap. We're in the wrong week here. There we are. So tomorrow night, we've got the Bills on the road against Miami and the Dolphins. We've got the Saints at the Cowboys. And we've got the Rams at the Cardinals. So another triple header of action tomorrow. We chose to broadcast tonight instead. And we brought you 3 mostly complete games. Raiders now down to their final timeout. 2:42 remains in this one. And barring one hell of a miracle in this one, the Ravens will even their record at 1-1. Whereas the Raiders will fall to 0-2. There's a 5-yard run for Keaton Mitchell. White die beats the defensive end. It sets up a 3rd and 2. So unfortunately, we did not end up with the closest games tonight. 3 relative blowouts. $28-0, 38-21, and this one right now is 30-9. Third and 2, pitch out Keaton Mitchell, and he's going to be brought down. 6-yard loss on that play, 4th and 8. As we reach the 2-minute warning, Ravens are going to get one more possession. Excuse me, the Raiders are going to get one more possession. 49-yard punt going to be fielded back at the 13-yard line. A short return there, and the Raiders. And Paul Conti will take over at their own 15. They're down 21 points. Just under 2 minutes remaining. Vegas is out of timeouts. Here's a first down screen, and Abdullah's going to get 7 and get out of bounds as well. Another screen to Abdallah, and that one goes for 5. It's a first down. He does not get out of bounds. And the Raiders will run the hurry-up offense. So the Raiders clearly would like to get some more points on the board. 3 wide receivers are split out here for Minshew. Another screen to Abdullah, and he's got 10 yards, and he's out of bounds at their own 37. Clock runs down to 1:15. Another flat to Abdullah, and this time he gets 2 yards, 2nd and 8. I know it's late and nobody is probably hearing it on this broadcast at this point, but I want to thank Dennis Crowley. Really want to thank him. We had a tech issue between a couple of teams last night. It was the kind of tech issue that is going to require Dennis's expertise. Dennis was available on short notice, exceedingly helpful and efficient at getting that game back on track. And it's not the first time at all. He does this 2 or 3 times every year for us. And I'm here to tell you the USFFL is in every way lucky to have him. Thank you, Dennis. Appreciated your input to the league last night. Final 60 seconds here in Baltimore. Ravens closing out a win. And another short flat pass to Abdullah. Personal foul. Baltimore getting a little chippy with the Vegas quarterback. So they'll mark off 15 and a new set of downs for the Raiders. And another flat pass to Abdullah. This one almost picked off. Four wide outs for the Raiders, but they just keep firing off screens. And Amir Abdullah keeps making short work with his receiver card. The Baltimore flag for a defensive penalty, 5 yards and a first down. 37 seconds left in this game. Congratulations to Coach Tony Talaria on this victory, as well as to both Scott Mueller and David Kukafka on their victories tonight. Another screen to Abdullah, and he's out of bounds with a 13-yard gain. Seventh catch of the game for Abdullah. Raiders are led by Brock Bowers with 8. Another screen out of bounds to the tailback. And the Raiders are now at the 8-yard line. They're inside the 10. Only the final score is the mystery that remains. Minshew, another incomplete pass. It's 3rd and 3. 15 seconds left. And a sack on the play by safety Ardarius Washington on the safety blitz has likely just robbed the Raiders of one last opportunity to get in that end zone. And indeed it does. The clock has run out. Your final score from Baltimore. The Ravens let the Raiders hang around for a while, but ended up running away with it with 21 fourth quarter points en route to a 30-9 victory. Derrick Henry, who was very quiet for much of this game, got busy late. Ended up with 12 carries, 116 yards. Ravens outgained the Raiders 398 to 356. It wasn't technically that close. And the Ravens were 8.1 yards per play, whereas the Raiders were 4.6. Raiders did have more first downs, however, 28 to 20. Gardner Minshew, 350 yards passing on 32 of 49 through the air. But a big interception and a big sack fumble as well. And so that should just about do it for the night. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. That's a triple header down. The winners tonight are the Green Bay Packers 28-0 over the Colts. It's going to be the Broncos 38-21 as they defeated the Steelers. And our night closed with the Ravens walking off with a victory at home against the Los Angeles Raiders 30-9. That's it for our Tuesday night 3 more games on tap tomorrow. Stay tuned. The USFFL marches on.